Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are making sweet potatoes or yams cheesecake. So first you're going to start with cooking your yams, of course, and you want to just keep the water very hot. These potatoes do take some time to cook, but once you see it starts looking like this, you can stick your fork through, and if it goes all the way through, then they are ready to go, and take that off the water. While that's cooling down, we're going to start with our cheesecake mixture, which is our cream cheese and our sugar. I'm adding in some sour cream as well, and give that a good mix. And you want to be careful with cheesecake because there's just a lot of ingredients and it's going to get all on the sides. So we're going to be sure to scrape down those sides and slowly add in the rest of our ingredients. Next, we're going to add in some vanilla, which is 2 teaspoons. Of course, I have the measurements listed below. And then we're going to add in our eggs one at a time. Make sure that mix is completely done with the egg before adding in the next egg. And we are using room temperature eggs. I did add a little bit of flour in this because I was kind of scared of what the sweet potatoes might do. But I did try without it as well, and it still turned out good. So that part is completely up to you. Again, we're scraping down those sides, making sure that the mixture is completely mixed. And I'm not going to turn my mixer on but too high. I did add in a little bit of salt and gave it one more mix, and while we work on our crust. So the crust is really going to come down to your preference of how thick you want it. So I have my measurements for how I did this, and I kind of just eyeball it and just see the consistency of how I want it. So I'm just crushing down these graham crackers. And I did add in a little bit of cinnamon and some salt just to give it some flavor. Or you can get the cinnamon graham crackers that already come that way, and it is amazing. Go ahead and keep crushing that down until you see that it's a little bit thick. Some people like to pre-bake their crust. I did not for this recipe. I found that it was perfectly fine without it. So crush it down and pour it into the pan, and we're going to start to form it so that it can go on the sides and the bottom. Again, this part is going to come down to your preference. My boyfriend likes an extremely high crust, and I am just like, I don't care as long as the cheesecake is good. So that part is up to you. But again, this is how I did it for mine. So please feel free to follow. Next, we're going to get started on these potatoes. Although we did wait for potatoes to cool enough for me to touch them, you don't want them to be completely cool because it will not help you when you're trying to taste them to see how they are. So just make sure they're still warm enough to touch but not freezing cold. So I'm going to smash down these potatoes so they are just completely mashed, and I'm going to add in our sugar, our cinnamon, our nutmeg, all that good stuff, but already have it pre-combined before I put it into the bowl. And then we're going to give it a good mix, just as if you were making regular sweet potatoes. It's the same thing, except we're going to put it in a cheesecake. Yes. So keep mixing that up. You can taste it as you go and tell if it's too sweet, if you want some more cinnamon, some more nutmeg. I promise it will not make a difference. Like as far as like baking the cheesecake, it'll be fine. So put what you want in it. I am going to add in some vanilla and some syrup. And I know that sounds crazy, but I promise you, you're going to love it. So add in that syrup, add in that vanilla, and give it a good mix for the 1,000 million time. Then we're going to pour that cheesecake batter into the crust, and we are almost done, y'all. Oh my gosh, we have finally made it to the end of this long, just craziness, okay? So this is the part that kind of I got scared about because I'm pouring the sweet potatoes and it's just kind of flopping to the bottom, and it just kind of looks like it's just it's just going to be a no. But it actually was a yes. So pour in as much sweet potatoes as you want. I didn't end up using the whole thing, so you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I'm just mixing it around so the sweet potatoes are just kind of all around the cheesecake, no matter what slice you get. Put that into the oven and boom. I did kind of overcook mine because I kind of gave up on it halfway through. I was like, this is going to be awful. But my family would not stop calling me about how much they love this cake. So I had to share it with you guys. Cut your slice. That is a huge slice, of course. You can heat up your knife and it'll make the slice a little bit easier. But guys, this cake was so bomb. And I couldn't stop there. I just felt like something was missing. So I had to cut up some yams. So let me show you guys. Cut up some yams in some really, really small pieces. Remember that yams cook down, so they don't have to be extremely tiny. So I'm just cutting all these down, and I'm just going to do the same process that we use with the sweet potatoes, except we're not mashing them because I just wanted a pretty decoration on my cheesecake. Pour those yams into a pot with about 1/8 of water and let that sit on the stove while we put together our seasonings, which is our sugar, our nutmeg, our cinnamon, some mace, whatever you want on your yams. Pour it in there and let that cook down. We're not gonna let them cook to their mash, guys, because this part is just for the decoration, and it is so worth it if you just want to look so pretty for your Instagram and for your family and whatever else. This is what your yams should look like once they're done. Take them off the stove, let them cool a little bit so it doesn't melt your cheesecake, and go ahead and top the cheesecake with those fresh yams. I also topped mine with some cinnamon and some brown sugar just to give it a pretty look, and some whipped cream on the side. And that was it. And that is how you make my sweet potato / yams cheesecake. Be sure to let me know what you thought in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.